What is poppin', everybody, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today is going to be a very exciting day because it's time for another episode of Brawl News, your favorite spot to get all the comings and goings here in the Brawl Stars community that you might not know about, but might want to know about. Guys, it just rolls off the tongue at this point. I love the intro. We have a ton of very important things to discuss in today's video, one being a development with the whole space theory coming out for this next season in Brawl Stars, having some more validation in that department, as well as potentially the Brawler coming out with this space theory that Lex brought up in one of his most recent videos. And then on top of that, we have a bunch of other really important things that I think you guys might want to know about, with future things coming around the corner, confirmations from the Brawl Stars dev team and whatnot. So hopefully you guys are all excited for the news. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go. Alright everyone, so before we get straight away into the fun information in today's video, be sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you guys have been enjoying the content, right? We are so close to 300,000 subscribers. We weren't able to get it before year end, but it's right around the corner. We're only about 5,000 away at the point that I'm recording this. Also, I have some really interesting video ideas ahead revolving around Starr Park, WKBRL, the Brawl Stars universe in general that I think you guys might want to know about if you enjoy that type of thing. It's been a very long time since we've talked about Starr Park or WKBRL, but I think because of the absence of it, we have some very interesting things to delve into with what has been developing in Brawl Stars since we've talked about it. But again, that's going to be for a later day. I think you guys will be surprised on what the heck is out there, but hasn't been shared yet. So hope you guys are excited for that kind of stuff. But I think that's enough for a little intro. Let's head into the rest of the video. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Let's get that 300K. Thanks for the support, everyone. So everybody, the very first bit of news that we're going to be talking about in today's video is revolving around this whole space theory that we discussed in the last episode of Brawl News. Just to rehash what we talked about, there was a few different things that were found in photos as well as in-game. We have the laser gun in this artwork that was posted on the Brawl Stars social media. We have this photo with another reference of a rocket ship, so a space-oriented thing, a rocket ship potion. A lot of you guys thinking that it might be for Brock, which it could definitely be the case. It's still a little bit goofy that Spike is drinking from it in the top right hand corner, but still could be either or, but another rocket ship oriented thing. And then of course, probably the biggest one and the one with the most information coming from it, and that is in the updated Sieges theme. We have a rocket ship in the bottom left hand corner that someone broke out of, and logos on the wings that I didn't bring up in our recent Brawl News episode. But like Lex mentioned in his video, if you take a closer look at the logo, it is the same exact logo that we see on Colonel Ruff's character model, a character that was designed a very, very long time ago, before Brawl Stars was even a thing, back when it was known as Project Laser. But as you can see, the logo is on his hat, so several people, including Lex, thinking that this is going to be the next new Brawler coming around the corner, which it definitely could be for sure. So I would say with all of this evidence and these really great theories brewing in the community, we have even more confirmation that a space-oriented update is right around the corner. I've also been doing a little bit of digging through the WKBRL archives and the different things that were found over there, and some of the stuff is actually really interesting, kind of leading me to believe that a space-oriented Season 5 Brawl Pass is a little bit more likely. I would say I'm like 95% certain that a space update is coming in the next one, if not very shortly after that. So let's get into some of these smaller things that are already out there and people are discussing. So I'm sure we all know what Project Laser was, but for a little refresher, it was a mini game within Brawl Stars that you could play yourself by clicking on 8-bit and entering into his psyche. It had 3 separate stages, the very first one being a space related one, kind of an homage to the very first version of Brawl Stars, which was Project Laser, where you fought against Colonel Ruff. Here's an example of going up against Colonel Ruff in stage number 1. Once again, a lot of people thinking that this Brawler is going to be the next Brawler in the space theme, and I have a pretty dang good feeling it could be very likely as well. The second stage was Slugfest, the other name Brawl Stars had way back in the day before it became Brawl Stars. But then for the final minigame, you're transported into a somewhat current Brawl Stars. Of course, it is in Brawl Stars, but you're going up against characters characters that are in the game now, whereas opposed to in the first and second stage, you're going up against characters from the past, such as Colonel Ruff. The second stage, you're going up against characters that had characteristics of the brawlers that we have in the game, but they were slugs, so technically not the characters themselves. But then on the final stage, we have 8-Bit going up against Max, Leon, Gale, and several other brawlers. So basically 8-Bit is fighting through the history of Brawl Stars in a way, making his way to the very end, where he defeats the evil part of himself, moves on through the garage, and then is met with this beautiful picture of a Ferris wheel and a rocket. So when we received this minigame, it was August. We then received the Starr Park update in September. So with knowing that, the way I'm seeing this photo, and I could be wrong, but it's really making sense to me, is that 8-Bit battled his way through the past history of Brawl Stars, delving into his memory, and then he finishes the game, opens up the garage to the future and what's to come to Brawl Stars. I think the Ferris wheel represents the Starr Park update that we received, and then the next update that's going to be coming, or the next bigger one, is this space related update. But then the question is why did we get Snowtell for season 4 of the Brawl Pass as opposed to this space one, if that picture is indeed telling us that we were supposed to get a Starr Park update and then the space update? I do have a pretty decent theory that I want to bring up in that Starr Park breakdown video like I mentioned before, but just to give you guys a baseline of it and what I'm thinking right now without getting too crazy deep into it, I got a feeling that season 4 was kind of the precursor, the transitioning agent to move ourselves into the next phase of Brawl Stars, whether it was the handiwork of some of the main characters coming from the Snowtells, such as Mr. P, or anything along those lines. The way I look at it is Starr Park was in the past. It is the good guy version of Brawl Stars, and then whatever happened with the craziness, the toxic spill, the mind control, whatever you want to talk about, it then turned into Brawl Stars. But like I said before, I want to keep this surface level. We do have a few other things to get into in today's video, but more on season 4 and what I think its role was in the Brawl Stars lore or the Brawl Stars universe in a later video, so keep an eye out for that. So it's pretty safe to say that Project Laser and the minigames in it is a very good predictor for this space update coming around the corner. But guys, when I say that this is not all, I mean it. There are so many other space themed things that have been found up to this point that it's pretty dang hard to not notice. For example, in the investor video, it was littered with spaceships. We have 2 there, for example, on the left. We have a huge one here that is literally taking up the entire frame. We have a rocket there on the far left, along with a rocket poster. And not to mention the Starr Park website, you got the space in the background, for goodness sakes. And several of the photos on the Starr Park website have spaceships and space related things, such as the Project Laser right there. You got a little spaceship here. You got a different photo of that spaceship we saw in the investor photo, a close-up on that poster of a rocket ship. So yeah, it's all over the place. If we're not getting a space update this update, it's definitely going to be coming at some point in Brawl Stars. So to wrap up this segment on the space update evidence, I think if we do end up getting a space update here for season 5 along with a brawler such as Colonel Ruff, I think then we have a pretty high chance of knowing what season 6 and maybe even season 7 of the Brawl Pass will be in the future of Brawl Stars. But again, I want to get into that a little bit on a later date. I want to wrap my head around it, make sure it's solid, right? But guys, with all of that craziness out of the way, we got to get to the rest of the news I have for you in today's video. The very first one being when present Plunder is going to be removed from the game. As you can see, Toast commenting under a pin pack opening that Frank had, saying, "Hey Frank, I know this doesn't have to do with your pins, but I was wondering if you could tell me when present Plunder is leaving. I'm currently pushing 2.5k Colt. It would be helpful for me to plan since I'm pushing in present. Thank you." And then Frank said, "It will be gone in the morning, January 8th at 8 UTC. So we even have a date and time when present Plunder is going. So if you guys are enjoying that game mode, finding it easy for the trophy pushing, make sure to do your pushing here. We only have 4 days at the point that I'm recording this video, so right around the corner. So transitioning into the next bit of news, as you can see, Brawl Stars posting this morning a photo that a ton of people are discussing today. Rosa and B taking on Surge with the power of the gems, an Avengers theme or meme adopted in the Brawl universe, but Rosa taking on Surge, B disintegrating in the background, feels bad, man. But because of this image, a lot of people are discussing the relationship between Rosa and Surge and why they're always duking it out. As you guys know, in the cyberpunk or the Brawl Stars punk Cyberpunk 2077, we had a Rosa vs Surge moment as well in this photo. So once again coming up, that is now 2 references of Rosa and Surge duking it out. And now this time B is brought into the mix, so it's kind of like a family versus a family here in Brawl Stars, right? So Rosa's and Surge's. Now Brawl Stars does kind of clear this up, though it is kind of strange to see the 2 different examples. As you can see in the comments here, Freaky Brawl Player says, guys, did you remember seeing Rosa vs Surge in the Cyberpunk collab? There is something new, game mode or something. And then Brawl Stars says, I'll say something that I might regret later, but sometimes our posts are just mundane, but still cool. Posts without Easter eggs or hidden messages. So them saying you don't have to look super far into things all the time. So it's pretty likely, if Brawl Stars is saying this doesn't have any hidden messages or anything like that, that is the case, right? It is coming from the poster of the image, the game that we play every single day, but still a very cool occurrence. Seeing it twice now, Surge and Rosa duking it out, battling it out. So whatever you guys think that is, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And then finally, to wrap up today's video, I have a few different things that I think you guys might find interesting coming from Twitter conversations with the dev team. But a conversation here with Danny, a user, asking him whether or not the arcade skins are coming back to the game. Those were the Lunar New Year skins a while back. And Danny saying, I'm not sure about the discount, but I believe so. They should return in early 2021. So if you guys really enjoy those skins, they are going to be coming back. And then the final one here, another post from Cerulean. As you can see, we could be seeing a possible Penny remodeling. Luke asking Danny, do you intend to remodel Penny and Nita? And then Danny says, Nita probably doesn't. It has already been remodeled. Penny maybe made some minor adjustments. So that one sounding a little bit more like it's just on the list of things to do. Maybe not a Penny remodel right away in the next update, but on the horizon. But yeah, everyone, that's all I got for you in today's video for the news. We got a lot of interesting things coming along the way. I can't wait, and I'm hoping this next update is a space-oriented one. We have so many things pointing to it, and I think it would be a really fun season of the Brawl Pass. And then, if that's the case, we could possibly predict what the next couple updates might be for the Brawl Pass, but that we will be discussing at a later date. So, hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. With that being said, have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.